People keep asking me why I said the Model Y is the world's best-selling car. And honestly, the reaction has been fascinating because it says more about how people think about data than it does about Tesla. So let me tell you the story the way I see it, from the inside, because when you're building something at the scale we're operating at, you don't live inside neat little spreadsheets. You live inside factories, supply chains, shipping routes, regulatory battles, and a constant race against physics and time. And when I look at the Model Y, I don't just see a car, I see a platform. I see a manufacturing philosophy. I see a product that was engineered to be produced at extreme volume with extreme efficiency. And that context matters when you talk about best-selling, because critics immediately jump to quarterly regional data, or brand-by-brand segmentation, or legacy definitions that were created in a world where cars were redesigned every 7 years and built in one country at a time, but that's not the world we're in anymore. The Model Y is built on multiple continents in massive factories that are designed from the ground up to maximize throughput. And when I talk about global sales, I'm talking about aggregated worldwide deliveries across all markets, not cherry-picked slices of time or geography. And yes, analysts will say, well, Toyota has models that sell incredibly well, and they do. I respect that. Toyota is an excellent company, but many of those comparisons involve combining multiple body styles or separating trims in a way that makes the comparison convenient. And then there's the issue of reporting lag, because Tesla reports deliveries in a very transparent way, while many legacy automakers report wholesale numbers or registrations or estimates that can lag by months. And when you align those timelines properly, the picture changes, and then there's the elephant in the room, which is growth rate. Because even if someone wants to argue about a specific month or quarter, the trajectory is unmistakable. The Model Y went from being a niche electric crossover to a mass market global vehicle in an absurdly short period of time. And that doesn't happen by accident. It happens because we obsessed over cost per unit, over simplifying wiring, over Geiger castings, over vertical integration, over software-defined vehicles, and that allows us to scale faster than traditional players who are still constrained by legacy platforms. And I think what really bothers some critics is not whether the Model Y was number one this month or that month, but what it represents, which is that an electric vehicle built by a company that didn't exist a few decades ago can compete head-to-head with the most established automotive giants on volume, not just on technology or performance. And that's deeply uncomfortable for people who build their worldview around the idea that EVs are niche, or that demand is artificial, or that this transition will take 50 years. And when I say the Model Y is the best-selling car in the world, I'm not saying it to win an argument on Twitter. I'm saying it because it signals something bigger. It signals that consumers at scale, across cultures and income levels, are choosing a fundamentally different kind of product. One that happens to be electric, software-driven, and continuously improving. And yes, the data will always be debated because data always is, but if you zoom out and look at the direction of travel, look at factory output, look at order backlogs, look at how quickly new plants ramp, the conclusion is obvious, and I think history will be very kind to this moment, because one day people will look back and say, that was the point where electric cars stopped being the future and just became the default, and the Model Y was right at the center of that shift, whether the critics like the headline or not. What I really want people to understand is how strange it feels to watch a simple statement turn into a cultural argument. Because when I talk about the Model Y, I'm not sitting in a room trying to engineer a marketing slogan. I'm thinking about first principles. I'm thinking about how many vehicles we can physically produce, how many people we can reach, how much oil displacement that represents, and how quickly we can bend the emissions curve downward. And somehow that turns into a debate about whether a Corolla in one region outsold us by a few thousand units in a specific reporting window, which is missing the forest for the trees, because the reason the Model Y matters isn't just raw sales numbers. It's that it proves a fully electric vehicle can dominate the most competitive segment in the auto market without subsidies being the primary driver, without being a compliance car, without being some weird experiment for early adopters. And critics love to say I'm exaggerating, that I'm being aspirational with the truth. But aspiration is literally how progress happens. If you don't set aggressive targets, you don't force the system to evolve. And internally, when we look at the numbers, we see something very different from the narrative being pushed by skeptics. We see factories that are still not demand constrained. We see supply chains that we had to reinvent because the old ones couldn't move fast enough. We see customers who are buying the Model Y not because it's electric, but because it's simply the best car for their use case. And that's the real disruption, because once the conversation shifts from should I buy an EV to this is just the best option, the game is over. And that's why the best-selling claim triggers such strong reactions, because it implies inevitability. It implies that the transition isn't hypothetical anymore. It's happening in real time. And some analysts try to frame this as ego, like, I just want to be right, but that's not it at all. What I want is for people to grasp the speed of change, because if you underestimate it, you make bad decisions. Governments make bad policies, companies delay investments, and then everyone acts surprised when the old system collapses faster than expected. And I've seen this movie before with rockets, with reusable boosters, with vertical landing. Everyone said it was impossible until it wasn't. And then suddenly it was obvious in hindsight. And the same thing is happening here. The Model Y isn't just selling well. It's exposing how inefficient the traditional automotive model really is. How much cost is hidden in complexity. How much innovation was deferred because there was no pressure to change. And when people argue about whether it's number one or number two, I honestly think they're clinging to semantics, and because the deeper implication scares them, which is that the winner in this industry won't be the company with the biggest advertising budget or the longest history. It'll be the one that can iterate the fastest, manufacture at scale, and treat cars like high-tech products instead of static machines. And from where I'm sitting, watching production lines ramp, watching customers line up across continents, watching competitors scramble to respond. The debate itself feels like a lagging indicator, because by the time everyone agrees on the numbers, the world will have already moved on, and the Model Y will just be remembered as the car that quietly crossed the line at first and changed the rules while everyone was still arguing about the scoreboard.